Hello everybody, my name is Tereza and my surname will teach you everything about Czech diacritics. To introduce my talk today, let's have a look at its rather lengthy title. So during my the 6 years I've been teaching for James Cook languages, I have learned to avoid certain words. Words like wrong, we are writing a test, or that was a mistake. Students tend to react negatively to those words, so I've learned to replace them with words like not quite correct, or there will be a revision, only a revision, not a test. Instead of saying mistake, rather talking about giving feedback. Quickly. Okay, hands up, who has ever heard from their students, I don't have time? Exactly. So I thought maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe the way I do it is something that the students don't accept because maybe it seems it's time consuming or it would take too much of their time. So I thought, okay, why not use technology? Because yeah, they always have their phones on the table. They use it every day. They check their Instagram. So everything is sort of getting more visual, more interactive. When you want somebody to read a text, you need a picture with it. Or nobody reads long text anymore. They watch a video instead. So today I'm going to talk about a tool that can help you with teaching writing and giving feedback on writing without using paper, hence ecologically. Okay, so when we teach writing in our environment, in corporate teaching, what kind of text formats do we usually teach our students? What do they want to do when they say, I want to improve my writing? What do they write, actually? Emails? Sorry? Presentations? Mm-hmm. CVs. That's usually discouraged by the HR, but yes, they do. Okay, I think I've got emails, memos, presentation slides, maybe some reports or proposals. I've been using the word writing, but let's face it, it's typing. Okay, so when we move on to the feedback, okay, I've borrowed this wonderful picture from, thank you, from our methodology handbook, and this shows you how correction symbols can be used. So we've got WO for word order, so always should be here, underlined for capital I, wrong preposition, wrong spelling. For for prompting self-correction, this is a great method, but it's rather straightforward, and it doesn't, not all mistakes or not all things that need to be corrected fall into this category. You underline, write short code, and it's done. So you need to comment on that area, and that usually takes quite a lot of time in your lesson. And if you have 60 minutes once per week, then you spend basically most of your lesson giving feedback on the text your students have written. So it is possible to do it that way, but what if they could watch a video with your notes and comments at the same time? So relax, sit back, that's what you're going to do. This is a video that I made for my student Natalie. Let's call her Natalie. She is a student at Charles University. All of my other students refused to give me the permit to use it at this conference, so I asked a friend. And she would like to enroll into a course on mooting skills. Don't worry what it is, something with law. It's a very high demand course, so she needs to write a letter of applications to get in. And this is a video that shows you what feedback I have given to her. It's a rather long letter, so you will only see about 4 minutes of it. It's not the whole feedback.
Okay, hello Natalie. First of all, let me thank you for sending me the letter of application. I have to say that you've done a really good job, so thumbs up for you. Let me first give you some good points that I think should be emphasized. So first of all, you have used a lot of linking structures, so you have definitely learned something in our lessons as we have practiced it. Secondly, your argument is very well structured, and I can clearly follow all the arguments why you should be accepted to that course. It is informative, but not very lengthy. Also, very good. And I can see that you have tried to use a lot of synonyms and a variety of structures. Okay, so remember, it's a really great job, but let's have a look at some things that we can improve. Let me switch to a smaller camera so you can see what I'm talking about. First of all, as I've already mentioned, it's a letter of application. This is a very Chinglish expression, so please never use it. Second of all, please make sure to check what formalities such formal letter has. So definitely the top right corner should include your name, address, and your contact details like your email address or your telephone. The date stays on this side. The left side can also include the addressee's contact details. So here, Mrs. Novak's address, department she works in, etc. I can see that you know her surname, so you write the letter directly to her. If you know the name, then the ending should be definitely different. If you look at this model example here from BBC Learning English, you'll find it there. I'm copying the link to our shared Google document here. Also, when you include your email address above, you don't need it here. Okay. We've talked about that. Also, don't forget that the first part of the letter should include a reason for writing. Okay, it is included in the letter, but slightly later. So make sure to think about how you can change it, and again use that. Use the BBC model to help you. Okay, the second thing that we really need to work on, and I will prepare some activities for the class as well, is register. This is a very formal letter, and I have found several examples of very informal language. For example, here, let's mark it with pink color. Also here. And here. Okay, so try to think how we can improve it, and I will ask you in the class what the difference between formal and informal register is, and we'll discuss it in detail. Okay.
Okay. All right. So what you have just seen is a free screen and video recorder called Loom. You might have noticed that that was Chrome, my browser. That's on purpose, because this recorder can be used only with Google Chrome. I'm sure if you are such a big fan of Google as me and David are, you will appreciate it. You've also seen that you can it can record your screen, either the whole desktop or just one tab. It records your voice, and you can also turn on the camera. If you don't teach online as often as I do, you might feel that, oh, there is a camera. But don't worry, your students see you every time you go there. And the point of the video is not for you to watch the video, but for the student. So it's basically the same experience for the student, and don't worry. The video can be downloadable in MP4 format, which is good. However, you can also just share a link with your students, which has the advantage because you get a notification that somebody actually watched your video. So, just so you have some sort of control. Okay, let's talk about the do's and don'ts for you as teachers. You might have noticed that at the beginning I talked about the good points that she has written there. We don't want to use this tool as something to make the students depressed. Make sure to start on a positive note. Also, I have included some other links, some other models that can use that the student can use to actually find the right answer. Which, of course, brings me to the last point: create opportunities for self-correction. So don't give the answers away; just shift the focus in the right direction. Don't worry. Just don't worry, it's okay. It's not an official material. This video you have just seen, I'm not going to lie, it was the second take. But because there is a camera there, so I was like, okay, let's try one more time, but it's really just the second take. Even when you make a mistake while filming the video, there's a pause button, so you can just stop and, okay, what did I want to say? Okay, and continue, and after that you can even trim it. So if there is something that you change your mind and you don't want the student to say, you can just cut it. Okay. Sorry. It requires certain affinity to technologies. I'm not going to lie, but with certain practice. I'm sure you will appreciate that you can do two things at the same time. The students can see what you do and also listen to your comments. Because if you have to write everything, then the student might not get it, or you spend too much time just writing the comments if you don't want to do that in the lesson. But of course, I see more benefits in using this tool. I mentioned already, saves classroom time. Especially when you have one lesson a week and you know that the student does the homework only like 30 minutes before your lesson. This could be a nice opportunity to have something in the middle. It's not a full lesson, something shorter for the student and for you, and it can help help the student to improve much faster. Or it can create opportunities for matters to be discussed in the lesson. So maybe the last lesson ended sort of like, okay, we did everything, what's next? And here you can actually find out about something that needs to be covered in the lesson. I talked about formal and informal language. We are coaches here, right? So we don't want our students to rely on us too much. We want them to know how to, what to do in certain situations. So this way you can show them where they can find the information they need when you're not there, or they don't have the time to wait for the lesson. And they can watch it over and over and over and over again. So make sure to give the video some reasonable title. So the students, when he writes the email again and he knows that he has problems with, I don't know, punctuation or something, it's easy for him to find video called punctuation in emails quite quickly. So he can watch it again and use it for his work. And of course it brings novelty, something new. They can watch a video. Oh, my teacher made a video for me, wow! But it takes like 10 minutes, okay? On the other hand, it requires certain motivation from the student. If they appreciate it, if they want to do it, keep going. If it's not for them, don't do it. Really try to think of yourself as well and estimate if, okay, this is worth it or not. Today we're talking about correcting, and I have narrowed it down to writing, but this tool can be used for other activities. You can make tutorials for your students, or your students can make tutorials for you. So for example, there is a system that they use at work or a product they want to present for you. So it doesn't always have to come from you, but the students can use it as well. Perfect homework. If in the lessons you practice presentations, teleconferencing, anything like that that requires audience, this could be a great way how to do the mock presentation for homework at home when they have the time. Or sometimes your students would like to improve their pronunciation, and it's very good when they see how you say it. So this can be also used. Okay, so to conclude my presentation, Loom can make your feedback more effective while providing visual and more interactive content that can help you be a better coach. There we go. At the same time, it uses the potential technology can offer to us as teachers while saving unnecessary paperwork. Thank you very much.